Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. Question number 438 from Fatawa Arkan Islam, Sheikh Muhammad Uthaymin. And this is actually quite a sad question, but it's also quite current. It's actually something that the Muslim Ummah is going through currently at this present moment in time. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us ease and to give shifa to those people who are afflicted. The question is asking, a sick person fasted in Ramadan and after 4 days from the beginning of the month they died. So what should we do on their behalf? Do they need to, make qada on behalf of the person that has passed away? Is there an expiation that needs to be given? What do we do on behalf of the deceased for the rest of the month? So the Shaykh answers by saying, rahimahullah, if this illness, so now look, he says there are two types of illnesses. If this illness was a sudden illness, a temporary illness, then the rule and the hukum for temporary illnesses is that you make up the number of days later on if you are not well. So if you've got a headache, that's a temporary illness. You can break the fast for that day, but you need to make qada for that day. And this is based on the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيدًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِّنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ. Anybody who is not well or is on a journey, then they've got the concession not to fast that day, but they need to make up that number of days that they didn't fast after Ramadan is over. So the Shaykh is saying, from this ayah we can then deduce that if a person is not well, then they need to make up that same number of days afterwards. But if he passes away, then there is nothing upon him. Meaning, if a person is sick, temporary sickness, they are excused from fasting the month, and that is then replaced with a qada after the month is over. However, if a person passes away even before he gets a chance to make up that qada, even before he sees the end of the month, then it is even more appropriate for us to say that there is nothing upon that person after he has passed away. That is a temporary illness. So the Shaykh is saying, if it's a temporary illness, a sudden illness that just befell that person and then they died because of that. However, so that could be a pandemic. That could be, some kind of illness that wasn't something that he was living with. But another type of an illness is that if a person's got a permanent illness which they are not expected to recover from, then that person needs to pay the kaffara for every single day that they didn't fast. So he says, rahimahullah, if the illness was one from which he was not expected to recover from, then the basic principle is that he is obliged to feed a destitute person for each day. So then that would then continue until the end of the month, because that was wajib upon him anyway from the beginning of the month. So if that person passes away midway through Ramadan perhaps, we still need to pay the kaffara until the end of Ramadan, because that was made wajib upon him from the beginning of the month. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq and success, and that He has mercy on those people who have passed away. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.